Planet 9, a world that should not exist. Earlier, scientists presented evidence for Planet 9, Planet X, Nibiru, a Neptunian mass planet in an elliptical orbit about 10 times farther from our Sun than Pluto, and since then theorists puzzled over how this planet could end up in such a distant orbit. New research by astronomers at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, CFA, examine a number of scenarios and find that most of them have low probabilities. Therefore, the presence of Planet 9 remains a bit of a mystery. The evidence points to Planet 9 existing, but we cannot explain for certain how it was produced, says CFA astronomer Gonji Li. He's the lead author of the paper, accepted for publication in Astrophysical Journal Letters. Planet 9 circles our Sun at a distance of about 40 billion to 140 billion miles, or 400 to 1,500 astronomical units. An astronomical unit, or AU, as we know, is the average distance between the Earth and the Sun, which is 93 million miles. So this places it far beyond all the other planets in our solar system. And the question is, did it form there, or did it form elsewhere and land in its unusual orbit later? Lee and her co-author Fred Adams from the University of Michigan conducted millions of computer simulations in order to consider three possibilities. The first and most likely involves a passing star that tugs Planet 9 outwards, which an interaction would not only nudge the planet into the wider orbit, but also make that orbit more elliptical. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. And since the Sun formed in a star cluster with several thousand neighbors, such stellar encounters were more common in the early history of our solar system. But an interloper star is more likely to pull Planet 9 away completely and eject it from our solar system. Lee and Adams find only a 10% probability at best of Planet 9 landing in its current orbit. Moreover, the planet would have had to start at an improbably large distance to begin with. CFA astronomer Scott Kenyon believes he may have the solution to that difficulty. In 2 papers submitted to the Astrophysical Journal, Kenyon and his co-author Benjamin Bromley from the University of Utah used computer simulations to construct plausible scenarios for the formation of Planet 9 in a wide orbit. Kenyon says the simplest solution is for the solar system to make an extra gas giant. They propose that Planet 9 formed much closer to our Sun and then interacted with the other gas giants, particularly Jupiter and Saturn. A series of gravitational kicks then could have boosted the planet into a larger and more elliptical orbit over time. Kenyon explains, think of it like pushing a kid on a swing. If you give them a shove at the right time over and over, they'll go higher and higher. Then the challenge becomes not shoving the planet so much that you eject it from the solar system, he says. And that could be avoided by interactions with the solar system's gaseous disks. Kenyon and Bromley also examined the possibility that Planet 9 actually formed at a great distance to begin with. They find that the right combination of initial disk mass and disk lifetime could potentially create Planet 9 in time for it to be nudged by Lee's passing star. The nice thing about these scenarios is that they're observationally testable, Kenyon points out. A scattered gas giant would look like a cold Neptune, while a planet that formed in place will resemble a giant Pluto with no gas. Lee's work also helps constrain the timing for Planet 9's formation and migration. The Sun was born in a cluster where encounters with other stars were more frequent. Planet 9's wide orbit would leave it vulnerable to ejection during such encounters. Therefore, Planet 9 is likely to be a latecomer that arrived in its current orbit after the Sun left its birth cluster. Finally, Lee and Adams looked into 2 wider possibilities. that Planet 9 is an exoplanet that was captured from a passing star system, or a free-floating planet, what we call a rogue planet, that was captured when it drifted close by our solar system. However, they conclude that the chances of either scenario are less than 2%. And this is on Bended Reality. We see that a lot of astronomers are talking about rogue planets, exoplanets, free-flying planets, Planet 9, Planet X, Nibiru, Nemesis, whatever you want to call them, that is way out there. And if you see the video before this one concerning our binary sun, they say it could be Gliese 710, which is about 2/3 the size of our sun and the mass and energy of our sun, and it's about 1.3 million miles away from us. Binary sun, meaning that it comes around every so often. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.